Hello everyone, this is Dr. N.Senthil Madasamy, Associate Professor Computer Science Engineering. Great pleasure for me to welcome you all for this session. In this session, topic to be covered is History of Computer Forensics. At the end of Unit 2, the students will be able to summarize the scope and laws of computer forensics for the cybersecurity professionals. At the end of the session, the students will be able to understand the history of computer forensics. Now we will see about history of forensics. Although crimes involving computers have existed for many years, crime began to really grow with the advent of personal computer in 1980s at the forefront of PC development initially, and in 1981 the company introduced the 5150 PC. IBM completed in 1980s with other PC manufacturers including Atari, Commodore, Tandy and Apple. The Apple was the Apple was extremely successful in personal computer market in 1980s. In 1984, the Macintosh 128K machine was introduced with a built-in black and white display. Apple soon followed with the Macintosh 512K that same year. This computer supported productivity software including Microsoft Excel. The Macintosh SE became one of the most popular personal computers when it launched in 1987. In 1980s, the advent of the personal computer. Interestingly, around this time, the first electronic bulletin boards emerged and they facilitated communication between hackers. Subsequently, hacking groups like the Legend of Doom in United States emerged. 1983 film war games introduced the public to the concept of hacking with a personal computer in order to gain access to government computers. In 1984, Eric Corley with handled the Emmanuel code sign published to 600. The Hacker Quarterly, which features of hacking ideas, Kevin Mitnick, one of the earliest hackers, was convicted in 1989 after stealing firmware from DEC and access codes from MCI. In the wake of numerous high-profile system break-ins, Congress passed the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act in 1986. The act has subsequently been amended several times under the Federal Bureau of Investigation. In 1984, the FBI established the Magnetic Media Program, which subsequently became known as the Computer Analysis and Response Team. The group was responsible for computer forensics examination. The special agent Michael Anderson in the Criminal Investigation Division of IRS has sometimes been the of computer forensics. Under the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children is formed. In local and country law enforcement, computer forensics investigators generally spend a large proportion of their time on child endangerment cases, especially those involving the possession and distribution of child pornography. In 1984, the US Congress established the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children (NCMEC). NCMEC is mandated to help locate missing the exploitation of children. It acts as the central repository for documenting crimes against missing children, including victims of child endangerment. Next, we will see about history of computer forensics after 1990s, the impact of internet. With advent of web browsers like Netscape in 1990s, access to internet became much easier. No longer did internet users have to use command line interface to reach the internet resources because there was a user-friendly web browsers prompted massive migration of computers to the internet. New uses of technology for communication mean that there was a new value put on digital evidence. In 1993, the first international conference on computer evidence took place under the Department of Defense. In 1998, the Defense Reform Initiative directed the US Air Force to establish the Joint Department of Defense Computer Forensics Laboratory, which would be responsible for counterintelligence, criminal and fraud computer evidence investigations. Simultaneously, the computer forensics training program was created known as the Defense Computer Investigation Training Program. The training program became an academy that is accredited by American Council of Education. The Department of Defense Cyber Crime Center, or TC3, was comprised of academy and laboratory and was later joined by Department of Defense Cyber Crime Institute TCCI in 2002. TC3 has partnered with Oklahoma State University Centers for Telecommunications and Network Security (CTANS) to develop and operate the National Repository for Digital Forensics Intelligence (NRDFI), which has developed a number of forensics tools. US Internal Revenue Service dates back to the American Civil War, when President Lincoln created the position of the Commissioner of Internal Revenue. Today, the IRS is a division of the Department of Treasury. Computer usage has increased over the years, so has the need for use of computer forensics in IRS investigations. The IRS Criminal Investigation Division Electronic Crimes Program funded Elliott Spencer to develop a computer forensics tool known as Look. The IRS Criminal Investigation Division (IRS CID) has been using Look since 2000 to facilitate financial investigations. The Look suite was historically available to local and state law enforcement free of charge. We often think of United States Secret Service (USSS) as solely providing protection for the Commander-in-Chief, the President of United States. However, the federal agency has a relatively long and distinguished. In 1996, the USSS established the New York Electronic Crimes Task Force (ECTF), a center used to collaboratively investigate the cyber crimes. In 2001, the US Patriot Act mandated that the United States Secret Service expand its successful New York Electronic Crimes Task Force and establish ECTFs nationwide. The following year, in response to the lack of coordination of law enforcement agencies prior to September 11, 2001, the Department of Homeland Security (DHS) was formed. Its primary responsibility was to protect the United States from terrorist attacks and also to effectively respond to natural disaster. International cooperation on investigations is extremely important because generally the larger the crime, the larger the scope geographically, criminals tends to use the internet to effectively communicate both on interstate level and internationally. In 1995, International Organization on Computer Evidence (IOC) facilitate the exchange of information for law enforcement internationally. In 1998, GB appointed IICE to create standards for digital evidence handling. In terms of international efforts and collaboration, Interpol has taken a role in applying digital evidence to criminal investigations. Interpol is the world's largest international police organization, representing 188 member countries. In 1989, General Secretariat was moved to Lyon, France. In 2004, an Interpol liaison was established at United Nations and in 2008, the special representative was appointed to the European Union in Brussels. Whole Incident Response Team (IRT) has provided computer forensics expertise on high-profile international investigations. In 1999, the first regional computer forensics laboratory was established in San Diego, California. In 2000, the second RCFL in United States was opened in Dallas. An RCFL is an FBI-sponsored laboratory used to train the law enforcement in the use of computer forensics tools. The laboratories are also used to law enforcement personnel from different agencies to collaborate on criminal investigations. The fusion centers reportedly maintained a databases of information for just about every American information that includes unlisted cellular telephones numbers, driver's license informations, and insurance claims. Also collect the information from relatively unknown data mining companies such as Intersect. The Intersect provides the information to human resources about potential hires and their criminal records. In this summary, we learned about history of computer forensics. I mentioned references here. I hope you found this video is clear about the topic I lecture. Thank you and have a pleasant day.